basically it'll go and do all of our automation needs.
Yeah.
And from what we've got, this is a very, very simple setup. It's already, I've got all the templates set up, so as much as it can sit there and do a complete automation, we can also break in and, you know, go live as required, which is really handy. So I'll just turn on the sounds at this end for a second.
Yeah, just turn off the sound.
Yeah. So I can hear the sound coming through here now.
Yeah, I turned it off on my speaker here.
Oh, okay, right. That's all right. Oh, it's streaming through here. So the idea is, though, that at the moment she's on automate, but if I take it off automation, what it will do, it'll actually stop at the end of each thing. So with all these checkboxes, that basically goes and means that it'll continue playing through, and then when it gets to an empty checkbox, it'll stop, which is really handy.
Okay.
So, you know, we can do a lot of things with it, which is good. So the guys have been using it now up in WeWack for, I don't know, 8 months or close to, something like that. And from Zara, they love this.
Yeah.
So this is much better than what they did have. So with this, we're able to go and, I guess, program everything, schedule songs, schedule programs to the point where we don't have to touch anything as a general rule. I tried to make it as simple and as easy as possible with the least amount of input as possible. So the guys actually go and do a weekly edit. Well, when I say edit, they actually just go and add new songs each week usually, and just shuffle the categories around a little bit. But that, you know, that really works well for them to be able to do that. So this song's I've got a minute and a half, but I'll show you. Windows 10 upgrade, go away. We're never going to do that. Okay, so there's actually two parts to the program. So there's this broadcast section that you can see of what actually comes out live. I'm going to make it actually stop at the end of the IDs. And then there is the scheduling sort of part as well. So studio, as it says, and creator.
I actually downloaded it a month ago or something. I was just curious about what kind of programs are out there, but I haven't really played around with it.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of different programs around, some easier and better than others.
Yeah.
I found this to be
that's what you used, that's what we...
generally fairly feature rich for what it is and the price. It's not a Zeta, it's not, you know, Simeon or whatever, but she's pretty good from what it does. So all the music is categorized as, you know, this one here. Oops. As you can see, you know, this Barlow Girl song is in the gold category, and you can see you can move all these around, but they're going to put in a top-up track. Oh no, there you go. Oh, here you go. Alright, so watch this. So at the end of this, it will actually stop playing.
Okay.
2, 1, boom, and we've stopped.
Yeah.
So if I hit play again, it'll actually start playing from there, which is not necessarily what we want. So that's going to be a talk program, so I'm just going to let that run. But if I push play again, boom, away we go.
So again, and if it's, I haven't heard it before properly, if it's checked, it's going to play. If it's not checked, it's not going to play?
Correct, yep. Okay. That's correct. Now that's only if it's in this live assist mode, which is really handy. There are a couple of gotchas which we discovered very early on.
Yeah.
whereby say the music's not stopped or whatever, and you for some reason accidentally have checkboxes halfway up the list selected, but you think you're working down here. When you go to push play, you'll actually play them at the top of the list. So we figured that out very, very quickly of what not to do. But all the same, she's.
But it's only when you like doing like break-ins or whatever, anyway, right? If you like going live, sort of semi-live, if you break into the automated list, basically.
Yeah. So the real idea is to what we do with nearly every shift. So the guys will come in. It's already in automation.
Yeah.
And playing and all the rest of it. So they'll come in, take it out of automation. They'll push Control A on the last item that's actually playing. Control A, and it goes and checks all the tick boxes, everything below that item.
Yeah.
So if you have a look there now on the list, you'll see it. Scripture vibrate, like everything's automatically checked. So it's really good. So you just come along, untick all the talk breaks, and it'll stop when it gets to talk breaks. So yeah, very, very, very easy to do.
And then how do you talk in this talk break?
Well, when it stops, that's obviously when you'd have your microphone on, and away you go.
Okay. Where's the microphone button?
There is no microphone button.
I mean, like you just turn on and off the volume of your microphone or whatever you have.
Yeah, or the mixer, you switch it on or off or whatever. Yeah, like a normal studio where you would push a button to talk, and then you would switch it off when you finish talking, pretty much. So this is just a way to control the music playout that goes through everything. So that's about all this production thing here does. So from there, though, I mean, we've got all these other things whereby we've got shows loaded. I'm going to turn the music off at this end. We've got all these different shows that are already ready to rock and roll, preloaded. Different God spots. We've got story behind the songs, which I don't think we're using. That was just a play. Different things, and all these are scheduled basically, so when we do schedule, it just grabs the next one available in the list, to the point where it's, we don't have to touch anything pretty much. This one's actually set up to automatically schedule, so it's really good like that, where you can just leave the laptop running for forever, and she'll keep going. So but no, it's pretty good. I'm not sure how many other questions or things I could really go through.
Yeah.
But that's a general overview, really.
Can you just create a simple new playlist?
Well, when we say create a simple playlist,
to just update another one or redo.
Yep. Okay. So the way the program is set up to do, it creates hourly schedules. So you've got, for every day you've got 24-hour, or you've got 24 files, each with an hour's worth of content. Now these hour worth contents are done through our schedules and our rotations. So this particular instance actually isn't set up for the Christmas programming that we've just had in PNG, but all the same, it still works. So, for instance, let's have a look at Monday's schedule. So for a standard Monday, we've got all these different files, or time slots, sorry. And for every time slot, we've got a rotation. So for instance, at 4 o'clock every Monday, you've got this AIO1 schedule, which we've put into 4 o'clock. So what that actually is, if we go into rotations, that's actually Adventures in Odyssey.
Okay.
Right. And so what we do with each hour, we're able to create these blocks based on all these different things, which are essentially just time. They're just templates. That's it. So you see, you know, top of our ID, scripture, blah blah blah, and then you know you put in a kid's song, talk breaks, kid song, Adventures in Odyssey track, and so on. So with Adventures in Odyssey in particular, there's 3 tracks for every show. I've guaranteed and made sure that is the case. Sometimes there's rarely 2, but if it's got 2, well, we take it out because it's not going to fit our automation view. Otherwise, the things will get all out of alignment. So one day it'll have 2, and then it'll play the first one and the second part, and then for the 3rd hour that we've got in the clock, it'll actually go and start the following day's part 1. So that kind of thing just wouldn't work. And so with that, we've actually able to go and make sure that nothing is time or date sensitive, with the exception to the Christmas programming. So unlike all the shows that we typically get from all the suppliers, where they say this show gets played on this day and so on and so on, well, that's not going to work with this setup, because otherwise the poor guys or whoever has to do it is going to sit there and actually enter a date for every thing, and that's a lot of manpower. So in terms of, you know, for guys in PNG at WeWhack in particular, this system's just going to work well.
I mean, we don't have much time in Kapuna either to do major stuff, you know. But I mean, what I would be interested in is like, if I have a playlist and at a certain time of a day, like let's say if you can ask in regarding like if you can put some news update in it, you know, some world news and some PNG news. Like, but I don't want to record it. Ideally, I would just download it from an FTP server and feed it in there. So it's getting repeated like every day, like twice, you know, and we update it once a week. You know, if you have the news, for 1 week straight, twice a day, and it's getting updated every week, that's still news, you know, out there. There are no newspaper, no nothing.
Right.
So it's if it's only like 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you know, we can feed it in. So this is one thought that I have. Another thought would be also like it would be a great tool, for example, to do like a short, like 3-4 minutes of health education regarding, especially TB is a big issue right now in the Gulf province. And, so if we could feed it in, we had somebody from Wyvern. On the States, they did some good recording in language and stuff like that. So the interesting for me would be like, how can I like just slightly modify it
to make it do that kind of thing. Okay, what I would probably do, what day is it today? 2 o'clock. Okay, so let's just go and, for the sake of what you're talking about, let's just I'm just going to load a couple more hours, and what that should do, hopefully we'll get up to about 7 o'clock. Okay, right, now here, it's for the devotions. Let's go one more. 7 or 8 o'clock, whatever time the news was. Okay, either way, whatever. There is provision in there anyway, I guess, whereby, for instance, say there at the 7 o'clock, there is a, you know, extra breaks or whatever you want to do. If you just want to go and manually drop in the file, that's not an issue either. Now, let me...
So I just drag and drop it into this line, or?
Yes.
And then, but the time slot is only 30 minutes, so it's going to be like chopped off somehow, or do I have to if I add the file, it has to be 30 minutes long, or?
Well, one of the beautiful things about this software is when it is in the automation mode, if an hour is too long, it'll
chop it off at the hour marker?
Yeah, pretty much. Or it'll let the last thing that it's scheduled in that hour to play out. So you get a bit of a nice transition rather than a cold stop. Or if the hour's short, it will add songs as well.
Okay.
So the majority of the hours are actually...
That's what your hour mark is for, right?
Correct, yeah. Yeah. Like this previous hour, I think, top-up track, yeah. As you can see there. Yeah. So it was like, oh, we're a bit short, I'll add another song. And that's just what it does. So that's pretty easy to do. In terms of, let's just try and find some music files, audio. Music. Okay. So.
Okay, yeah, I can just.
Violates restrictions anyway. Do you want to add it? Yes. It's telling us that because it's set up for a Christmas song, it's designed not to be played in this time frame. So that's doing what it should do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's how you insert an audio in the simplest way. In terms of setting something up to automatically schedule on a daily basis or something, that is probably possible as well. I don't think you'd probably want the news to be played 7 times a week with the same thing every week.
Yeah.
I know that's an example, but it's probably a little bit too much.
We would have, like, let's say, I don't know. We'll have to come up with a concept or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'd probably...
I think Ian here's like started this news section and stuff, and again, like, I don't want to invent the wheel. I just want to
make
have
it
news
work
in there, you know.
Yeah.
I want to have it easier for myself. I don't want to script or something. I just want to download it, put it in there, finish. You know, ideally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can. I don't know where you're going to get the news from. What's your plans for?
I mean, what I thought, like, you know, if you guys in VBAC can get some PNG news, you know, like, you know, if it's some sports event or some whatever, you know.
Yeah, well, in WeWhack, they don't have the internet on site as such.
Okay.
The only internet they do have is privately. So, and even then, they don't have it very much anyway.
Yeah.
So when I go in, I'm probably the one with the internet as a general rule, and trying to download a daily news thing is not going to happen with the internet like that. The other thing, however, is that the way they get the news is relayed from NBC.
Yeah.
Just via an FM relay.
Mm.
So nothing special as such, but it's just a direct in, straight into the mixer and straight out tuned on from the radio. So they've got permission to do that, but and then that just gets slotted into whatever time frame in the hour that they do. So I think, of course we're not going to see it. This, what you've actually got in front of you is the news is actually taken out, come to think of it. Yeah, we actually took it out because this laptop in particular is an automation station.
Yeah.
So the news provision is there, but it's not there specifically. So, but anyway, that's why it's missing. It says it's there, but it's...
I have to put basically the MDR01 in there in the rotation.
Yeah, which it probably is there actually. Yeah, it is there, but it was actually just taken out of the rotation. But as you can see,
and with the talk breaks again, if I don't talk, like, this is basically the break in, right?
Yes. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then it just keeps going with it.
Yeah, it just keeps going. The reason why we did it like that is because this is set up This is basically a template from WeWhack.
Yeah.
And with it, we're able to just, they use it live. But if nobody's there, it doesn't matter, it just rolls on.
Sweet.
The only difference listening is like, oh, there were 2 songs in a row, there wasn't an ID between them. So you can actually tell when they should talk or shouldn't talk.
Or when they talk break, I can just quickly record something locally and just crack it in there and do this, right?
Yeah, correct.
An announcement or something, you know?
Yeah, that's right. So, in particular, for instance, if you didn't want to do it live, let's just make sure these all keep playing. Let's go back to here. Let's just say this here was a talk break, and you had talk break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever that you've already pre-recorded. Just drop them straight in to the place they're meant to go, and they'll play out.
Sweet.
So yeah, walk in the park. It's very, very easy.
But again, let's say I'm just gonna move this here.
Yeah.
So
so you can actually leave it running on automation if you really wanted to, and just drop things in.
So the break note is 0 minutes. Let me see.
The break notes don't have a time specifically for that.
It's the break note.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Break note, and you have to talk break. It's kind of like the script.
Yeah, the thing calls it a break note, but that was the easiest way of going talk here. So.
Yeah, okay. But again, if I make the talk break like 5 minutes and it's too long.
Yep.
Does the list automatically update itself, or does it kick out certain songs, or?
Yeah, if you're in a live assist mode like we are now, no, it won't. It will keep everything until you delete them. So you could actually have a single hour go for 3 hours if you really wanted to.
Okay.
And then
but is it set to automate, and it's updating it so that it's fitting itself back together?
Yes,
right?
yes, the automate does that. Yeah. So
again, if I have so right now I have to talk break at 14:37, right?
Yep.
If I make 10 minutes out of it and I go to automation, then it's chopping off some of the songs.
Yes, it probably would do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But that's okay, because let me just 2 seconds. One of the things there that it's good that it lets you do. So say you are in this live mode, and the hours do go for too long. You think, gonna go for too long, so we just select the songs we don't want. Shift delete, bang.
Yeah, sweet.
Gone.
You just manually adjust.
So you manually adjust the hour to try and make it fit. So those times on the side actually don't update properly. It's a really, really rough guide. But, it's, you just have to try and guess. You've got this thing down the bottom here, this counter. So, yeah. I'm not convinced they're all correct, those figures, but they're still a good rough guide.
Yeah. I mean, with the bush, plus minus 5 minutes.
Who cares? Yeah.
Hour,
yeah.
But it's ideally it would be good because we're having it's a hospital and there are certain schedules. Let's say there's certain things happening at certain times.
Yes.
Like outpatients or whatever. So I just thought we could you want to place public radios at certain places in the hospital.
That's a good idea.
So then, and if you time it right, we could actually, while outpatients happening, we can put either music intentionally on it, or we can intentionally put a certain talk on it, or whatever,
Yes. Okay.
So
Yep. Now we met Larry actually while we were in Moresby. So.
Larry or.
Larry, yeah. Who's apparently he's some hospital dude at Kikori.
Oh yeah, Larry and Sarah.
Yeah.
He's the sort of manager and his wife is the matron. I think matron. I'm not sure.
Oh no, he said he was the hospital boss anyway. But
yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, all right. Now I think you sent some music to me as well on Dropbox. Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a quick listen, and I'll be honest. We have tried to make sure that the audio quality that we've put into the system is of the highest standard possible.
Yeah.
Now the reason why we did that is because there was so much stuff that we had that was coming off tapes. The bit rates were wrong. It just sounded awful, and we've actually put the quality rate up so high now that when the guys actually go and insert a request or something, they go, "Oh, what is that? It sounds terrible," because the quality is totally different. Now, the recording you gave me, that probably wasn't quite up to the high quality standard as well that we're after.
We've done it on our laptop.
Yeah, and you can.
In the studio.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. So, I didn't actually put those in, but I just that's probably why it didn't go in there. So
it should be right for us to play, right, in our area.
Yeah, look, you can play it, but in saying that, you'll do one of two things. There's one thing people will go, "Hey, this is great. We know those people."
Yeah.
But to those people that don't know them at the same time, it'll be like they'll be listening to this really high quality stuff, and then all of a sudden this other song will come on, and they'll go, "Oh, what's wrong with that? Why does that sound not quite right?" So.
But I know what you mean, but this is what you're talking about is Australia.
Oh, true. We've actually retrained our audience.
Because the people go nuts when they hear their own language.
Yeah, when it's their own language.
If you listen to Port Moresby radio, our recordings are actually that we did on the laptop. They're better than the stuff that they sometimes, because all what they do in Moresby is like fruity loops and whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's like having a little microphone on there, you know. And that's how they're recording their music, you know. And it's coming in Port Moresby radio.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't play it in Australian music, but like I think for like Kapuna or Kikori, I think it's like I don't know.
No, that's all right. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I totally understand.
That you might do the artist a disservice. That's all. If every time it comes on they go, "Oh, what is that? It sounds terrible." But you know.
Yeah.
Whichever, if they go nuts and stuff, well then that's cool. So the way, going back to the program then, the way we add things, there's one method of dropping things in. That's easy, drag and drop. So what? But to actually have things scheduled, we've got different categories for different groups and so on and so on. Now this version of automation that you've got, the new and current and recurrent, basically they're all merged into one.
Yeah.
There is no new category as such or no current category. And the reason why I've done it this way is it's a hands-off automation approach. While the songs might be new, everything's combined. And that way you're not always getting these songs on high rotation all the time. So you get a more balanced sort of thing. Probably where you would be interested in adding songs, so they go on the automation thing, is the island music category. Just open it up, add files, go and find where your music lives, and then just add them, I guess, as you would. Hit open and bang, they'll get added to the bottom of the playlist.
In the location, it's not moving the files, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's one of the good things about this system. It's also a downside as well. There's pros and cons, but this works on a full file-based system.
Yeah. For example, I could imagine, I have like if you do the news thing, I have a Google Drive. I have like the laptop hooked up with my Google Drive, and I just add News 1 and you upload them as news 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you don't even have to touch the file, so download it just constantly.
Yes, like, yes, you can do that. Yes, and so the way I would probably do that, let's just do something really quickly. So we'll go a new category. Let's just call it news. And I need a file called news. And where are we going to get that from? Let's. Okay, hang on a minute. Just for the sake of an example, let's just find a really small thing. I don't know. Where's a small file when you need one? Alright, Godspots, that'll do. There's always lots and lots of tiny ones. Okay. So, for instance, this file is called news.mp3 or whatever, and it's probably coming off a Dropbox or a Google Drive or something. You would hit OK. So now we've got our news category. Now, what I would do is, under rotations, I would go to the news hours. And for the top of hour, you might go and put in a jingle, but for the sake of this, news, slot it in there, and hit OK. And now every time that thing gets scheduled, that news item will get played. Whatever is in that category. Now, if for instance, it's probably, I'm doing it in the wrong category, probably should be a spot group, but it works the same way. So the way, you can then go in here, every time your Google thing is updated, it'll grab that file every single time.
This would be awesome. News World, News PNG, and then we can, I don't know, something like that. Morning, afternoon, I don't know, We'll come up with something like that.
Whichever way. Now, what I probably should do is drop in, where is it, transfer box. Let me just see if I can drop...
Because the ideal case, it's not just us, but like in general, wherever you put your next radio station up, the people can just do the same thing. Again, I don't have the time, and I don't want to invent the wheel new and
Oh no, that's fine. Well, the biggest thing, because you're actually probably going to be half hosting it and be in the custody of it. And if that be the case, you can probably go and connect it to the internet and have it do its thing. Whereas a lot of the other ones will be putting in, they'll just be a standalone box. So therefore the installing or the playing of news, like we're doing now, is irrelevant. Just because it doesn't want to work. Or doesn't work that way. So I'm just looking for a file right now. I don't even know where my Dropbox is. So it's not reinventing the wheel, that's for sure, but it's just a matter of making sure it's going to work every time and appropriate to where it goes.
Theoretically, it should work the same way though on the standalone. That if they get the chance somehow to download the news, they should be able to just replace the MP3 and it's just going to get played. I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Challenge for us is a little bit. If the playlist, if the system breaks down, you just have to restart the playlist. But the playlist isn't according to the time schedule anymore. Obviously, now we're having like at 12 o'clock, we're having certain things happening, but on our standalone system, as soon as it stops running, you press play, but then you start somewhere in the middle of the day or something.
Unfortunately, this one will just keep going all the time, every time, so that's even better. I'm just sending a couple of files to the desktop there, and hopefully they'll show up. Minimize, go away. Okay, that'll sort itself out in a second. Okay, so there's the cheat sheet. This is something we did for the guys up there. This was the basic training on how to use the program. Just basically what we've just outlined now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty easy to follow. How do I close that? Okay, that's closed. Good. And I'm using a Mac, so what is that? Oh, that's that. Okay. Rough program guide. That's there too.
What?
Yep, it's opening up slowly. Oh gosh. Go away. Yeah, that's something I thought of well, didn't I? Anyway, we need to
put it into a PDF and
put Open Office on or something. That'll solve the problem. But the clock scheduler as well is there. Have we got WordPad on here? Hey, hello. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so now this is for the clocks, so you get a rough idea of how and where things live. So generally speaking, I think that's pretty much correct from what you've got in front of you. It might need updating. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at that file for a fair while. And then file open. And then once again, same sort of thing. Yeah, whatever, you can figure it out, but it's there. So, this is very close. Not quite the same though. This is actually the current one. So, yeah. Anyway, you get the picture though. It gives you a rough idea of what's on there. Your version there does not have the village church in it. And there's a couple of other tweaks in the middle of the day, but
from the playlist, I would just put more like island songs in it.
Yeah.
And then maybe like I would schedule this 2 or 3 minutes of health talk in it regarding TB. Then there are another few PNG related things like or teachings, you know, which are particular. But this is going to be much later. So
yeah, I was going to say This is although there is a lot of English there. Probably every fourth song maybe is an island national song of some sort.
That's good.
I've tried to increase it as much as possible, but given the amount of songs we have, they'll just burn too fast.
Oh yeah.
So that's why it's got the amount that it's got.
Yeah.
And what we've discovered from the requests, people still keep coming in with requests all the time. There's a lot of national music they request, which is good. So it means they're still listening, and it means we've got enough. I think the balance is pretty much right at the moment, to be honest.
What I can do then too here is like I want to make a short announcement and say, hey guys, we're gonna put a live FM box out there. Give us some comments. Give us some what you want to being played and stuff, and so we can get some feedback. So.
Yep. No, that's cool. So, I mean, Ian he'll be the one that says yay or nay, I guess, on ultimately how much you do or don't change it. But I think probably just get used to having it there and watch it and observe it.
I'll keep you updated what we're doing, and if I do something wrong, you can smack my fingers.
Yeah, chop them off or something. Yeah. But no, it's worked fairly well from what we've had with it.
It's really exciting to have it, you know, like there's so many people. There used to be a radio station somewhere around, but not anymore, and again, like, people want to hear what's going on, you know, like, I mean, they want to, or
They want news, don't they?
Teaching, they want to have news, they want to have, just something else than...
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people having their SD card full of whatever music, but actually having Christian music and encouragement stuff, and it's really exciting, and it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope it works well down there, that's for sure. But how is the other radio, the mini one, gone? Has it done all right, or is it just excitement and then it dies off? Or
we're having a problem with the fan.
Oh, okay.
It stopped running, and I tried to replace the fan, but I couldn't find a computer fan that was running on it.
Okay.
But I got some spare, and Kikori, they had a few times problem with the power, but I couldn't figure out what it is exactly. But what I tried to give them is like a 12-volt battery and then a charger on it, and then it runs from the 12-volt battery.
Yeah, okay.
Because, in Kapuna we're having like an inverter system, so we're having always power, so it's not an issue, it keeps running.
Yep.
But Hikori, when they're turning off the power on the thing, it's just off for a little while, and then nobody's there to turn it back on.
Right. Okay. Well, this is a laptop, and you'll probably get a few hours from it.
Yeah.
So that's probably a bit better than not. And even if power does go out.
About the sender unit, you know.
Yeah.
Like if the sender unit goes off and the power comes back on, it's not coming automatically on.
Right.
Although I found a trick, like you just keep the button always pushed.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can tweak it that it always comes back on automatically.
Do you run it through a UPS?
No, they don't have a UPS, but I just got... we have UPSs, but with no functioning batteries, but I ordered some and they just came in, so...
Okay, from Drytron or something?
Yeah, so I tried to give them a UPS over there, so that's one problem less.
Yeah, good, yeah. And then just let it keep running, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, that's cool. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. There's no logging of any other sort or similar. It's all just as you see.
Yeah, it's good. It's enough. I mean, I'm gonna play around with it, figure the rest out.
Yep.
Should be right.
And then there's if you do get stuck, I think there's contact details there on the laptop.
What's all these menus up here? Main cards, edit cards, control.
Yeah, the cards are for a live shift. So basically, you can just hit. The idea is you can have audio on standby. So if you've got a morning jingle, good morning everybody, bang, la 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 la, whatever. It'll set up a box of where you can just click on these automated buttons or something. So there's the carts, just ignore. We've never used them at the station yet. But yeah. So while it is set up for pre-recording, you probably just need to have the right devices to actually do it and set it up correctly. Yeah.
Alright.
There's also it's also running through a compressor, limiter, basically just a multi-band compressor. So that's why it'll sound a lot louder and things. We're running the one at WeWack, we run it through that, and we also run it through another compressor, an analog box, and we're actually the loudest station in town. So that's pretty good where we can do that. The rest, and that's just the output thing. The rest is all fairly self-explanatory, I guess. The general rule, you probably won't have to touch anything. General here as well. Where is it? The other thing is load at startup, visible at startup, auto load, auto reload, playlists, and so on and so on. Where are we? Hour markers, play next, top up tracks. Where is auto create? It creates things on the fly. Let's make it 1 hour in advance. Auto playlist creation. There you go. Sorry, that's the most important button to tick.
Yeah.
Or have ticked in your case. So because you aren't always going through and adding new music weekly or shuffling things around all the time, there's no need to be worrying about creating playlists. It just does it, and it's probably easiest.
Is there some sort of evaluation, like a log or whatever, where I can see like what has been played, how many times?
Yes. Yep. So
like
if you go up to View, General Log, and you can have a look at them all. So you see this hour here in particular, that was overfilled, so it skipped that song. Then you'll see, same thing again, overfilled. You can see what it does, everything there. The other interesting one sometimes I find is where are the problems?
Yeah.
And why is it creating problems? Fortunately, there's no errors on here, which is really good. There you go. But when it does have an error, it'll pop up and go, I've got a problem, blah, blah, blah. Generally speaking, you won't see those things. And if it does have any serious issues of any sort, just restart the thing and it'll come back up and it'll be fine. So I don't anticipate you'll have any problems, to be honest, but if there are any, it'll help you diagnose. Usually it's just something's wrong with the audio.
Okay.
Rather than anything else. We had an instance where something timed out for whatever and it kept on reloading the audio engine, and I think we actually had 2 engines running for some unknown reason, which gave it a slight echo. It was really strange. But we restarted it, it came back up and there was nothing wrong. So it's just one of those things.
Can you see how many times the title has been played in total?
Not in total, but if we go back to Creator, we can go to Track List, and let's have a look at all the songs in new as such. These are the songs that have played the most in the last however many days, or times in the last week.
Okay.
So while there's a lot of music in there, it will probably take them a very long time to get used to any of the songs going, oh, I love this song when it comes on, because there's that many in the rotation that, they won't get to know them all. The other thing, you can actually open up and have a look at the song properties, and it'll give you a full history of when it played every time. And there's restrictions in there that you won't hear it more than 2 times in, I think, 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
But you'll get these rare occasions where it'll, there's a 6-hour one, or, same thing there. So, and then there's some songs that are actually restricted to how much they can play at all.
Yeah. Also, I think sometimes for sermons or talks, you would also maybe restrict them for after 10 o'clock or something, eh?
Well, yes and no, because what you would do with the sermons, you actually just put them in their own rotation. So,
like morning rotation, evening rotation.
Yeah, for the Sunday morning, well, there actually aren't any on this version. There aren't actually any Sunday morning services, but for Homecoming Radio, for instance, that plays midday on Sundays, and that goes for an hour. Now, because those items are only ever scheduled in that time slot, there's no need to go and give them an hour restriction, because they'll only ever get scheduled then anyway. But there's some songs it's like, this one's a bit loud for breakfast, so we've just put a time restriction on them and so on.
So I have spot groups are like the jingles or
spot groups, programs, jingles, ads, so on and so on. Categories should basically, the way we've got it up is just as music. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
So there you go, man.
Awesome.
That's a really, really quick run through, I guess.
Yeah. One last thing, because I'm in Kapuna.
Yep.
And I can get stuff sent to Picori to update the list.
Yes.
So if I wanna, the tricky part thing, I guess it's gonna be easy to just create the M3U list or whatever, right? Export it as M3U list or.
For what?
For the guys in.
For the other station.
Yeah. Or do I have to make a special program for the because of the audio links, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different kettle of fish again.
Yeah.
So while this system is what we have used in the past to be able to create those playlists, this particular instance or set of spots and groups and so on is not designed for the MP3 player as such.
Okay.
Mainly, the reason why this thing here is set up for hour breaks or so on, where things are slightly under or slightly over, generally whatever. The MP3 is just a playlist of songs.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and God spots and things. Now, if we do go and start exporting the files for those, you'll get things all over the shop and there'll be nothing consistent.
Well, then other question, how can I, because I looked into it, I couldn't find something quickly, but how can I create my own M3RU list or whatever it is?
Yep. Alright, let me show you where, when you go and do create stuff, because they're automatically being created, we don't have to touch this. But under normal other operating, you would just go up to create, choose how many days, hit start, and so on. And then what it'll do, it'll go and make these playlists, and it will put them, I think, in here. So let's just go here. Not that. Go away. Come back up. Okay, it's on yours, not mine. Hello. There we go. Yeah, it's gone. Alright. Whatever. The internet slowed down on me. Okay, so program files 86 station playlist. Playlists. And there's all the M3U files.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they're only hour-long ones. So if you did want to copy them and have a play and edit and so on, for the MP3 players, go ahead. But in terms of doing it automation-wise, or trying to automate that process at the moment, just with this setup of the database, you might not get the best results, but you're welcome to try. Mainly because it's got all these files scattered all over the place in different locations. And there's, I think, about 300 or 200 gig or something. And to try and fit all that on a memory stick.
No chance.
Yeah. So while the MP3 idea is great, it's a trial though. And basically nothing more than a good music player.
But let's forget what is it called again? The station player there.
Yep. I've got to get a charger for the laptop.
Is there, beside the station player, just beside what you just showed me, do you know any other program? Because I haven't researched it enough, but any other simple program where you can make just a long playlist, like VLC player or whatever. I haven't tried it out yet recently.
Winamp will do stuff. Winamp?
Winamp? Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't used that for ages, but okay.
That deals with PLS and M3U files.
Alright. I will try Winamp. Fair enough, that's all I have to know. Because I think you tried iTunes, didn't work, and VLC Play didn't work either, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You'll be surprised what you can do with Winamp, actually.
Yeah.
So, I find it alright. But the only drama is when you use these M3U files or whatever, is the location of the files.
Yeah.
And trying to compile them, put them all back into the same directory as the thing. So